had another day of just waiting and seeing mess. And today the weatherman was calling for some rain. He was wrong yet again. It's not about rain, they're just always wrong. But anyways, Nunner and I were sitting around the house and waiting for the rain that was supposed to come that never came to come and to be over with, to figure out what we were going to do today. And as we were sitting around, Nunner said, or I asked Nunner, I said, what are we going to do today? I ain't sitting in this house all day. I've been reading through the book of Ezekiel. But Nunner said, I don't know. And I said, well, you were supposed to figure this out last night. Nunner said, well, I don't know. What can we do? I said, well, guess we kind of need to stay away from some people waiting on Mama's test to come back. I said, we can go shoot us a pig with the bow, or see if we can. We can go see if we can stick us a deer, or we can go to the river. And well, Nunner pondered on it there for a while. And he said, well, what's the wind supposed to do? Got a couple of spots up for deer hunt. I said, I don't know, I'll check. I looked and I said, Nunner, it's supposed to be windy. Nunner says, I don't want to go get in a tree then. So he pondered around it and he said, Daddy? I said, what, Nunner? He said, let's go to the river. So that's what we're doing. We're going to the river today. Now, we got to kind of be careful going over here to this river. Not because we're doing anything illegal, but because we're going to the wrong side of the river. See, over here in western Arkansas, it's kind of flipped from what it is in central Arkansas. The north side of the river, you got to watch yourself. On the south side of the river, you find God's country. Bloomer, Charleston, Coxville, all those metropolitans that are south of the river. Full of good people. Unless you're kind of trying to move here from the north, then don't move here. It's bad people. But anyways, so we're got to watch ourselves because we're going to the north side. We got to park on the north side of the river so we can do our snagging, or what we're going to do. We're going to snag today. See, I watch those people on the north side because they're funny. See, I got a buddy. He's all right for a north side river person. I got a couple buddies over there. And both of the ones I've got in mind right now that I'm talking about is they both do YouTube. One of them, he's got a channel called The Preacher's Day Off or something like that. Preacher's Day Off, I don't know. But you can see evidence of how the north side people are. River people over here on western Arkansas. This is what I've learned since I've been over here. You see what those north river people do is they got all this bean and farmland and crops and corn and all this stuff. And it's almost like they pin these deer up over there. They come deer season, they'll walk out there and they'll look at their herd of deer and they'll shoot them a good one. And then they put it all over Facebook. You get pictures of it. Oh, look at this deer I shot. Ha, ha, ha. All you shot was a spike. Ha, 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 ha. And they carry it around and laugh at you. But you know what they do? Is then they want to get that deer mounted. So guess what they do? Is they come to the south side of the river to find them a taxidermist that's worthy of mounting their deer. You know why they do that? I pondered on that. You see, the reason I was pondering on it last night, because this actually happened. You can go over there to my buddy's YouTube channel, Preacher's Day Off, and you can see evidence of it. Shot a big deer. It's a pretty one. Then he had to come to the south side of the river to find him a taxidermist, and the reason being because there ain't nobody on the north side smart enough to mount a deer like we do down here on the south side. Thinking about that, it ain't like that all the way across the state. It can't be. See, it's got a swap somewhere in there. I think the line lies between like Conway and North Little Rock. So why does the line lay right there? Well, because when you get about North Little Rock, about 45 minutes to an hour north of the river is where I was raised. Those are good people over there. But them south of the river right there, I can't say too much about them because I just realized that's where I got my wife from, down there in Sheridan. She's pretty good. Her family's pretty good. Old Pine Billies. But anyways, me and Nunner, we've loaded up. We got some poles in the back of the truck. It's the Christmas Eve, I guess, is the way you would say it. And so, out of boredom, because we can't do anything else that we want to do, right now at this moment. And we're gonna run down to the river, throw some lead, and see if we hit anything. So we'll take you along, show you how we do it. Even though it's the end of December, most of the time we're not doing this till later in the spring. But why not? Who knows? Maybe we'll hit something. I doubt it, but maybe we'll see. But anyways, come along. We'll carry on with our shenanigans for the day. See you in a little while. Alright, well, me and Nunner made it over here to the dam for a little daytime snagging, more of a boredom killer. Here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. So, here we are at the dam. Hopefully you can see that. But what the name of the game is chunk out there, jerk a hook through it, and see what you hit. And I'll show you what we're using here in a little while. This is one of the two places that I've snagged. A little bit different because we got this ginormous wall right here. The other place that we go to is it's got a wall also, but you can walk down right to the water. So if you hit a fish here up high, you can actually walk him down. But if you look down there, you can't do that here. In fact, so we had to figure out something different last year of how we're gonna get fish up this wall. So what did we do? Well, we had an option, we could buy something, but there was nothing in stock, and we kind of like to get our hands on something pretty quick. So what we've done is we have went and built us a wall gaff, and that's what we use to get fish over the wall. So Hunter is over here already snagging, and I'll set you up and we'll snag a little bit. We probably won't hit anything today. Usually we'll come in here late in the evenings and, or like I said earlier, springtime, summertime, and snag, but we're bored. There's nobody here except those guys down there fishing whatever they're fishing for down there. But Hunter's rig, as you see it there, he wanted a snagging rod for Christmas. So that's what he got. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there goes a barge into the lock. You never seen it before. What he's gonna do is he's gonna pull up into this lock over here on the right, and they'll adjust the water however they need to, and he'll keep on going upriver. But I wonder what he's got on it. Maybe it's some, I don't know, feed, rice, I don't know. Corona vaccines, who knows? Well, I'm back already. Rod's been put up for a minute. Now of our pace of getting out, I guess the good Lord doesn't want me snagging today. Made one cast and something was off with my reel. I got a missing nut off of it, so I have to replace that before I can do it. So Nunner is going to show us how to snag today, and he's tying on more weight right now, so we'll see what happens. All right, since I'm a spectator now, I'll explain to you what's going on in case you're not familiar with snagging. Now Hunter's new at it. He just started doing it last year, but of course he casts out there, he's hooking his weights, he's got more weight on there, and what he's doing is once he casts, he's, to the best of his knowledge, I don't know how he does it, but he may be counting down until he's on the bottom. If you see, he's still trying to do a lot of the work. He hadn't learned to let the rod work for him yet. But with that, is he's just jerking it through there. If he would ever hit something, you'll get to see Hunter come alive. He gets excited. He hit his first fish last year finally, after we snagged all spring, and it was fun. This is where he did it at. A little blue. But you can hit anything as far as snagging. What can you catch? Mainly you're trying to catch catfish. You get bored and it's a hot day, you can have fun snagging gar. You can have fun snagging buffalo, carp, drum, so forth like that. There you go, you see him waiting on it to go down. I don't know why he's jerking it, because he probably knows that I'm recording, but, and there's a jerk. And that was a pretty good one. He let the rod tip go on back. It's work. You notice one of the problems here with Hunter and his rig, he hit that rattle trap I had on that pole. My fault, I should have moved it. I wish he'd hit something here in a second. See him come alive. I mean, even if it's a stump or something down there, he gets excited. It's fun. Alright, it is terribly windy today. Nunner and I have about had our cup full of snagging. I'm trying to get this rod out of here without hitting everything. But let me show y'all something. This is my kid. He loves to fish, hunt, and do all their ignorant stuff with me. There's a great big old power deal here. I don't want to get a rod tip in them. Get a little shock today. Walking out of here and he says, I love this thing. I'm thinking about a snagging rod or whatever, you know. That ain't what he's talking about. He is taking his old school backpack. Just look at this. See that? Look at it down there by his butt. Those are the rod butts hanging out of this backpack that he's hacked holes in, so he can carry his fishing stuff wherever he goes. Now y'all have to excuse him. He does take after his mom a little bit. How you gonna fit under there? Go! But anyways, I got a kick out of that. Pretty smart. Don't have to spend no money on it. So I'm alright with that. But yeah, it's one of his old school backpacks. So we're pretty much tired of fishing, snagging, whatever. It's windy. You're not supposed to fish in December anyways. I think you're supposed to be shooting stuff. So we'll see what the day brings yet. So we'll see you here in a little while. Before me and Hunter leave here, so I made a comment a while ago about the north side of the river and the people in the south side. Got that one buddy over there that's telling you about the deer. Got to bring it to the south side of the river to get it mounted because there's no one smart enough on the north side to do it. And then got thinking too, I got another buddy over there. Oh, Gary. Gary, he's got him some kind of YouTube thing too. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to ask him. And forgive me, Gary, for not remembering it, but he's a north side guy too. For a north side guy, these guys ain't bad. No, in all honesty, I'll mouth them and carry on with them, but I enjoy them. I thank the Lord for them every day. They've helped my family and I out a lot since we've been down here. But the north side and the south side of the river is true. Let me show you. See this over here? I don't know if you can see it, but you're looking down the river. On the right side is the south side. On the north side is the left side. Now, if you had to pick between them two, which one looks like God's country lays on what side of what on the river? I guarantee you, when the Israelites were looking over into the promised land, they didn't see piles of washed up wood and desolate wasteland like we see over here on the north side. No, that ain't God's country. That over there is. See, proof right there. Just right here where we're at. I didn't even think about it till I just looked out the truck window and saw it before I cranked it up. North side. South side. That's it. There ain't no argument over that. I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather live on that side than that side any day. On the north side, they got to pin their deer up over there. We actually kill them the way they're supposed to be. We go hunt them and do that. But all right, we're gonna pull out of here and figure out what we're gonna do for our next hoorah. Okay, me and Nunner made it back to the house. He gets sleepy on truck ride, so I think he's gone inside. He might be asleep. I don't know. But anyways, before I ended the video, I wanted to take a minute and show you how I rig up our snagging hooks and weights and so forth. You know, if I'm going to do these, I would prefer it if maybe you learned something new or seen something different for you to try. But it's pretty easy. But I'll get the camera set up where you can see, and then I'll show you how we rig it up. Okay, so on the bench here, of course this is where we were reloading the other night. So I've got this piece of braid. It's an old piece that came off one of my spare reels. I don't know why I didn't think about putting that on while we were out there snagging. And then here is I got a number 5 weight. Now I've got a bunch of these, but the way that I've got them is I have a buddy in Mina, and he's actually the one who taught me how to do a lot of this. But Benji and I spent about probably a whole day just casting a bunch of these lead weights. So let's pretend that our line here, and this end's got an old knot in it, is coming off of our rod. We've got our hook. Of course, you're going to tie your hook on. Now, anytime you tie a bait on, it's normally you've got a tail, and some guys are good at taking and chewing a tail off, but you don't have to worry about that on this. Take a couple twists. Tie your knot on. And you're going to want to leave a long tail. Whatever knot you choose to use, leave a long tail. And I'll show you why here in a second. Let me get that through there. I've got the camera in between my legs trying to work around it, my hands around it. So anyways, so there's your knot. And this one didn't tie up. Well, there it goes. Alright, so I've got my hook tied on. Remember, the knot end is coming off of the rod. Now here's our tail. Now if you wanted your hook farther than the 10 or 11 inches that I've got so far, you're going to want to leave a longer tail. But when we're snagging flatheads, a lot of times we're trying to get right down on the bottom. Well, then take your hook, or your weight, excuse me, and I just kind of do a few here, around through, back through, whatever preferred knot you've got. There's times I've just gotten in a hurry and use a square knot. But there you go. So now we've got the line coming off the rod tip in my left hand. We've got our hook, and then we've got our weight. Now when we jerk that thing through the water, is we want everything to go through the water straight. So we've got a problem now. If you jerk this, your hook's going to flop around. When we jerk, and this is all in the water, we want that to come through just like that. So what we're going to do is, if we want to be a few inches off of the bottom, is this is where you're going to make how far you want your hook off of the bottom. That was Hunter, he wasn't asleep. So here we've got probably 6 inches below the hook. If we wanted that, you take a wrap right here, and I'll show you how to finish it. But you take your wraps, let me do this the way that I normally do it, doing it backwards. Take your wraps on whatever you want. Okay, so see, now I'm 3 inches. You can't just leave it like that, it'll come undone. Make you a little half hitch like that, put it over the hook, pull it down tight, make you a second one, and there you go, just like that. So now that the way it's set up is, if you go through there, when you pull, is everything is in line, your hook's not flopping around. So that's the way that I do it. If I want to add a second hook in there, say this is what I'll start with, and I want to add a second hook, because I can pull up my line, I can go ahead and add a second one. Pretty much simple, no problem. But anyways, there's your snagging tip. Go pick you up a snagging rod from a pawn shop, find your local dam. If you're in Arkansas, stay within 100 foot or 100 yards or something like that. Stay within the buoy line, chunk it, see what you catch. Take plenty of these and plenty of these, because depending on where you go, you may need them. Anyways, hope you've enjoyed the video, and we will see you on the next one.